patient. So let's jump in. We have Mary Jo, who we're going to go on and review her thing today. Before we do that, I want to check in. Open floor. Any questions, comments, compliments? Does anyone have something they want to get on the agenda for future review? What is going on with you guys? Anybody want to check in? Questions, anything like that?
Jase, I just want to go on record of, yes, I am speaking for 3 minutes during Ken's event, but I'm okay for 3 minutes. Okay.
It's so funny. She's saying that because last time she spoke, she didn't tell me she was speaking and I kind of reprimanded her. So she's like telling me she's doing. All right. So you're set. You don't want to review it. You're good.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Thanks, Christine. You rock. Anybody else? Questions, comments, compliments, anything like that? Anything at all?
You know what's going on with me, Jase? I sent you it this morning.
What do you got? Oh, your
My
review.
presentation.
You want to show people what you put together? It looks pretty good.
Sure. You got a screen share. Oh, wow.
Your co-host. So what she's showing is we've been working on Desi's packages. And what I wanted you to see is how she put it together in this PDF. I think it looks pretty sharp. And when she speaks, something like this will help her close some deals. And then we're gonna go.
We ready?
Yeah. Yeah, nice. So you don't have to go, just show them like each page real fast, just so they get a feel for what it looks like. You don't even have to go through it. Because stuff like this, when you start to do events or just sales in general, having things like this really helps a lot that people can hold in their hands. That will go a long way towards making sales. She put that all together last night at 1 a.m. Let's send her a big whoosh. Ready? Whoosh. Which one I find a lot of things get done. Awesome. Congrats, Desi. So great. Anything else? Desi, anything else?
No, not right now.
Congrats, congrats, congrats. Loretta, how about you? You are up. You're muted still though.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It always asks me if I want to unmute myself, even though I go to the microphone. Desi, that looked amazing. Did Bridget, did she put that slide together for you?
No, that was all me actually.
Oh.
It's more of a, I think, a pamphlet or a PDF to send out is what it was. Good to see you, Loretta. By the way, thanks for doing that cool video you did last week that you tagged me in. That was super cool. You guys got to check out Loretta's post. She's pro at the social media game. Thanks, Loretta. Let's send her a whoosh. Ready? Oh, we didn't send Christine a whoosh. Let's send Christine a whoosh too. Ready? Let's all picture Christine rocking her 3 minutes in. Whoosh. All right. So without further ado, then I'm going to jump in, and it's really good to see you all. So what we're going to do is Sean said, make me host and rejoin. What does that mean? Is Sean here? Nope. Okay. So what we're going to do is let me bring Mary Jo up here. Mary Jo, I have to just praise you. You did awesome. Your first event ever. You rocked it out. How many people did you wind up having at your event, Mary Jo? You're muted still. Please unmute. You're still muted, Mary Jo.
I didn't get the list from Danella, but when I went through and from what I saw, there were a max of 19 people. I had 47 signups that didn't include most of the speakers, and a lot of people supported me on this. A lot of people from our group, from Ken's group, from several overlaps, which was wonderful, and I really appreciate it. So much of the time there were from 16 to 19 of us on. When I went through the list, there were probably 6 of those that were actual candidates, potentials.
So that's a good thing for us to note, you guys. When you're looking at doing an event like this, she had how many registered at the last count? What was it? How many were registered?
47. Well, yeah.
47.
Yeah.
And
one of those might have been me.
And then we probably had a total of 6 potential show ups out of the 47. So you guys, when it's a free event, though, that's a little bit low ratio. And I'd say on a free event,
Well, 19 showed up out of that 47.
oh, 19. So what do you mean?
But out of those, I mean, there were a bunch of people who were there to support me and not potential clients.
Oh, okay. So like friends, you counted in the 47 who registered.
Right.
Great.
Right.
Way to show up and support each other, guys. I think that's awesome. So
It was great.
19 out of 47 is about typical for a free event. You're going to see that.
Mhm.
If you took out the people who were your friends who registered, how many do you think registered of people who didn't know you? And how many showed up of people who didn't know you? Just take a guess, a wild guess.
Probably half of, well, I can look at the Excel sheet here.
No, that's okay. I
Uh,
need you to guess. So guys, just what I want to put in your place for you guys, when you're doing events, if it's a free event, you could count about a quarter to a third of the people are going to show up.
Yeah.
You start doing your seminars, you start doing your webinars, it just get those numbers. And I really want to caution you guys, your first events, people get these big numbers in their head, and other coaches and trainers talk about these giant numbers. And maybe it'll happen, but I'd like for you to get conservative on your first one, and then we'll grow from there. So can you guys take on doing that as we go forward? Cool.
I wasn't displeased with, with having that number on. It was actually
No.
kind of nice.
Right? And it's your first. You did your first.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to give you a huge shout out, guys. You guys, she stepped up. She hired the coaches, she wrote the presentation, and she did her first event ever. It's a huge deal. More importantly than what she showed up for herself, do you want to kind of share just kind of quickly what happened at the end of the day with that woman?
At the end of the day, this was a quiet group. The people who were sharing, a lot of them were people who know me from a lot of our coaching programs that we're involved in. But at the end, there was one very quiet woman who came forward and really, she started saying, "I'm so broken." And then she really broke. And everybody supported her. But I mean, it was really, really confirmation that I need to be doing what I'm doing. It was, wow. It was really powerful. Nobody left at the end. There was still 9 to 12 people that stayed on. I must have said goodbye 5 or 6 times and nobody would leave. It was almost strange. But after she opened up, a couple other people opened up, and it's kind of like sitting around, taking your high heels off after a party and sitting around on the living room floor.
So a couple of thoughts on talking about leading events for all of you. If you're going to lead event in the training center, under the U category, there's a recording I did about preparing yourself to lead transformational events. I recommend you all watch it. And then a training tip for all of you: when you're leading events, quite often you'll ask for sharing and no one shares, and you have to sit and marinate in the uncomfortableness. What am I talking about? You've got to be willing to just sit there and let people be uncomfortable with the silence. So you're going to say, who would like to share? I'd like to hear from a couple of people. And then you just sit there. And you're going to be thinking, oh my gosh, no one's sharing. Oh my gosh, it's horrible. I got to fill the time and all this other stuff. But you got to do it, because once you do that, then the sharing will kick in. And that's what Mary Jo finally did. And then she started, and then if you have to, you call on people, is what she did next.
Yeah.
And that's when it opened up. And so you guys, this woman just started bawling her eyes out, saying how broken she has felt since her ex left her, and she didn't know she could ever be put together. And that this weekend with Mary Jo, or this day with Mary Jo, was the first time that she felt like there was hope. And so, Mary Jo, you really stepped into touching and helping a community. You stepped into making a difference, and the next will be to make a lot of money. So can we send her another whoosh? Ready? Just like big whoosh, whoosh. So Mary Jo, I just want to congratulate you, and for all of you, it's time to
Thank
step
you.
in. Now, what we're going to do in today's training is we're going to watch some of the video of Mary Jo's clothes, and then we're going to coach on it. So, Mary Jo, you did
Very
like-
needed.
What?
Very needed.
Yes.
Although I will tell you, I did two discovery calls today and closed both of them. So
What? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
Are you serious?
So, yeah. So definitely that is, I mean, it was very comfortable. It was very natural. It flowed very well. It went very easily. It was like, so I know that's me. So
Awesome.
that's the way I'll close from now on.
And what was
you
your
know,
price point? 2,000?
2000.
Well,
Yeah.
it's 4,000 in sales, guys, with basically 6 potentials. And if she gets another one, and remember, we want to learn our numbers, dollars per head. So now she can start figuring out her numbers. Now you're going to close more with the small crowd, but let's say she finishes with 6K, 6 real potentials. That's 1,000 per head. That shows her how much she can put towards marketing in the future. And then let's suppose she finishes with 6K and you said you had 19, but you had friends showing up. Did you maybe have like 12 people that were potentials, or really only 6?
When I looked at it, the ones that showed up, there were only 6.
Okay, so
Yeah.
1,000 a head is awesome. And I'd like to see everyone get at least 1,000 a head on your own event. So now if we know she gets 1,000 a head, she gets 100 people in the room. Now we're looking at $100,000 if she keeps those numbers true. Right now we're at 4,000 divided by 6. 4 divided by 6. Let me do the math really quick. Ugh, 666.66. You better close that next week.
I gotta close next one.
I'll round it off to 667. So
Thank you.
667 per head.
Pick a different number.
Times.
There is another person I'm talking with, but I think it's very early. Actually, it's that one lady, and it's very, very early in her journey.
Yep. So maybe she'll buy maybe not. So anyway, but you guys get the numbers. We can start to get estimates. And then right now she only sold at 2,000, which is way low. And now as Mary Jo gets confidence, so Mary Jo, let's check in with you. Do you feel more confident about your offer now?
Oh yeah.
You feel confident you can sell it?
Yes.
Okay, so for this next woman, you could tell her the price is 2,500 or 3,000, but she can still get it for 2,000. And next time you sell, it's now 2,500 or 3,000. We'll just you start to bump it up. You start to bump it up. You start to bump it up. And then really you're creating a year-long coaching program. It's worth 6,000 to 10,000 really. And for now, let's keep it low because you need practice and you need clients. So great job, Mary Jo. I could not be happier you actually got sales. It is so awesome. So real quick, Pam, can you unmute? Did you have a question, Pam, or did you have something to share? Then I'm going to deep dive into Mary Jo, into her close.
My question was, because you said that if it's a free event, so if you charge for the event, are you saying that the percentage is higher in terms of who shows up?
Yes. You guys, it's very strange. And when you're doing coaching and you're selling a coaching program, you have 2 sales. The first sale is they buy the coaching program. The second sale is selling people on actually showing up and using it. So right now we have, potentially 50, 60 people that could be on this call. And we've got like a hardcore, 10, 20 that show up every week. Not everybody does it. When you host your own live events, even if they paid you $10,000 or $15,000 to be in your program, you got to get them there. You got to sell them on getting there. It's very strange, you guys. And it's part of it because homeostasis happens, life happens, resistance happens. People get distracted. I'll tell you real quick, Mary Jo, I'm going to remove you and then bring you back up. I'll tell you guys a quick story. You remember I bought that one seminar and I went to it changed my life. The one I told you guys I bought for $1,500. My mom grabbed my jacket. She sat me down. Have I told you guys the story about the Museum of Art and that I almost didn't go? So I bought this event in November or December 2001. I think December. Now it's fast forward. It's February 2002. And I did an event at the Atlanta Museum of Art. The greatest event thing I'd ever organized in my life. We would have a party called First Thursdays, the first Thursday of every month. And I organized one called Carnival, and it was themed around Carnival and Mardi Gras. So I got in touch with Universal Studios. I'm going to see if I can find a picture of it while I'm telling you the story. I got in touch with Universal Studios. I got stilt walkers lent to us from Universal Studios. I had friends who owned a Cajun restaurant downtown Orlando. They came into the main rotunda of the museum. They did a live crawfish boil and sold Cajun beers and had like jambalaya and stuff. In the back rotunda, I had a Zydeco band I hired to come in and play Zydeco. You guys know what Zydeco is, right? Like that Cajun stuff. And then, but it was Carnival. So it was like, the theme was Carnival, Fat Tuesdays around the world. So I had found this Brazilian band that would play on the streets of Orlando, and they'll play drums, rhythms, but then they had like 20 other instruments people could play, like the bells, or like that thing you go, and it's covered in the seashells, or like the thing you rub like this with the stick. So like 20 people could dance along. And there's all this buzz. So for the first time ever, they put these overflow things outside. We had biggest event the museum had ever done, I think, raised the most money ever. I even got, you know, those sock, like you see in a lot of car dealers, like it's a sock and the air blows up and it kind of moves like this. Yeah, it was, you guys, greatest event ever. And I'm packing up at the end of the night. I'm taking it in. This is the greatest thing I've ever done in my life. This is probably the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. And I was taking in, like, who do I have to share this with? And I'll never forget that moment. I'm putting away one of the sock puppets, or whatever you call those things that stand up. You know what? I think I have a picture. You guys want to see this real quick? Let me see if I can show this to you guys.
No, your impression was priceless.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you guys like it. Yeah, I actually do have pictures. You are the first group to ever see these pictures. Consider yourself special. This was the night right here. So like, here's the Zydeco band we had. Like, these were actually like some of the first times people ever took pictures of digital back in the day. And then just here was the Brazilian band I told you about. And then they had like all these other instruments people could play. And then there's one of the stilt walkers. So it was just a blast. You know, they're dancing around. Just this great event. We've even got a gobo, which is a thing that projects an image up onto a wall. So we got a gobo to project images. I want to see if you can find a picture of me. I want to show you the look of my eye, if I can find it. Yeah, here I am. I don't know if you can see the look of my eye, but it's a different look of my eye than I have today. Like, I wasn't centered in who I am now back then. So I'm putting everything away. Like, see, we're playing those instruments. We're all dancing around and stuff. And so it's the end of the night, and I'm out here. And this is art, like people could buy art and take it home. And I'm at the end of the night, and I'm putting away these sock puppet things. And I'm like, I did it. I pulled this off. It's the greatest thing I ever did. And I looked around to take in the moment. And I looked at who I was sharing this moment with. And it was my mom, the museum staff, and these two acquaintances I had just met. They were helping me. And all my friends were like, hey, we'll be at the bar. See you later. Because the friends I had, everything was centered around like going to happy hour and stuff. And I remember it hurt so bad. And I remember thinking to myself, this is not the life God has for me. What can I do to change my life? I have to change my life. I'm like, I have to change. And then I remembered, oh yeah, you bought this seminar. Why don't you go to it? And so I was like, so I went, and I think because that moment was that painful, it really cemented the value of that seminar. And then I think I've told you the next part though. I had been a flight attendant before I was a realtor. And so I used to fly for free. And like, it wasn't in my consciousness that if you wait longer to book tickets, they go up in price. So I'd waited till last minute, and it was going to be $700. And I was like, you know, I don't know if I want to spend $700, but when that moment had, I'm like, I'm going, I don't care what it costs. And I booked my tickets last minute, and it was $700. But I booked them for the wrong day. It was like CompuServe. It was the first time I ever booked online. I was supposed to fly on Friday. I booked my tickets for Saturday, and the airline wanted $1,000 to change the date. And when I had this moment, I'm like, I don't care how much it costs to change the ticket. I'm going. So I paid the extra $1,000. So on top of the $1,500, $700 for flight, and then another $1,000 to change my tickets. I was so committed to my life changing. I was going to do no matter what it took. So for you, if you've gone through like hell that you have to change, it's a beautiful place to get into. And then second, part of our goal in the presentation and in the offer is to get people to see really clearly where they are. So they're like, I have to change, that they get that experience in the moment. Is this landing for you guys? So one of the things I'll do at my advanced trainings, when I'm going to sell a higher ticket program, I'll tell the story of what happened in the museum. Now that I found those pictures, I'll start showing those pictures, but I'll tell that story because when I tell that story, it gets the audience to go, I remember a moment like that. I have to change. I better do whatever it takes to change. Does that land for you guys? So that's the kind of goal we have. So now let's move into any questions or anything on any of this so far? Yes, Kitty.
I didn't see the sock puppet. Sock puppet.
I don't think I got a picture of them. But
Okay.
any car dealer, you'll find it. Yeah, no, sorry. I don't think I have a picture of them there. Thanks, Kitty. All right, so what we're going to do now is go into Mary Jo's offer. Before we do that, I want to point something out to everyone here. We do not believe in guilt. We do not believe in shame. We believe in coaching and growing. So Mary Jo, do you make that promise that no guilt, no shame, you shall coach and grow? Oh, you're muted again. Try and unmute when you guys come up. You're totally muted, Mary Jo.
I wasted it. No, I said I watched that part of it yesterday, and I know there is room for improvement. So
Cool.
So I'm open.
So help me get to the actual close, please. Tell me if it's before or after, when it starts. Is it before or after right here?
Through, regardless of what you've done. We've all
Wasn't, you mean where I presented the offer?
Yeah.
Okay, can you find the beginning of that was that PowerPoint poem that
It's just hard to find it because it's such a big file. Do you think it was close?
let me see.
It's all right. We'll just pick up from wherever this is. And so what we're going to do, guys, here's what we're going to do. We're going to watch this, and then I already took notes on it. I'm going to point out some of what I saw that could help her improve her close going forward. Hopefully, I'm at the beginning of her close.
Absolutely stunning. Just stunning. You walk in and the light.
Yes, this is it right here. This is perfect.
Those windows. And
so where she's picking up, she's telling a story about how she went on vacation and saw these gorgeous windows. And the point of the story is one of these windows, they built a building and it stopped the light coming through. So let's pick it up with that.
And I was like, why don't you share that with everyone?
That's not it. That's not it.
She always wanted to go to Paris. Always.
Okay.
From the time she was a little girl, she always wanted to go to Paris. When you go to her condo, she has a whole mantle full of Eiffel Towers. Now, she's a very private person, very introverted. For all I know, she may have been to Paris without me, and she would just, it would be kind of like her not to tell me. But I emailed her and I said, what would you think if we went to Paris between Christmas and New Year's? Now, this is not something I normally do, but she emailed me back and she said, okay, actually what she said was, well, that doesn't sound too terrible. But for her, that was enthusiastic.
Who was it that you invited, Mary Jo?
It was my daughter.
Okay. So one of the things that's nice, she's telling a story about doing something they've never done and how they're going to create an experience, which says to the audience, commit to things, go do things. As you tell stories, the audience will map it into their head.
So we went to Paris between Christmas and New Year's of 2019, 2020, and had a really good time. And I got to see her dream fulfilled and my dream fulfilled by knowing I was doing that with her. And while we were there, we both got a thing for stained glass. I mean, there's something about stained glass that just lights you up. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do. I walked into the church known as Sainte-Chapelle. Now, Sainte-Chapelle is relatively small. In in Europe, in Paris, there are, of course, Notre Dame is close to their huge, huge Gothic cathedrals. Well, Saint-Chapelle is small. And it was made to house some of the relics from the Holy Land, most notably the crown of thorns, which is what Saint-Chapelle means, Holy Crown. I walked into there.
So what would be nice if you did have an elegant photo of the place?
Yeah.
That could show that would go a long way.
And it took my breath away because floor to ceiling, there are, I should have looked this up before, I don't know how many tall spires.
So I want to do a little training with Mary Jo. I think I'm in my head a little bit with you guys. I don't want to seem like I'm going to come down harsh on Mary Jo, because I'm not. We're coaching. So can we all agree, like, I'm free to coach her and say whatever I want to say? Okay, great. So Mary Jo, for all of you, when you're making a point, make the point and don't make any other point.
Okay.
You said, oh, I should have researched. No, you shouldn't have. How does that help the story? We're creating this experience of I walk in and I have this unbelievable experience because of these windows. That's it. We don't, why should you have researched? What does that have to do with anything? And how does it help the story? It doesn't.
Stained glass windows. Absolutely stunning. Just stunning. You walk in and the light is filtering in from those windows and you see it, and it's every little piece of those windows is a story. It's like a whole lot of the Bible in those little pieces all over, and it's yellows and reds and blues, and it's absolutely.
This is beautiful. The way you're doing it and delivering it here is beautiful, because we're in the, anyone else kind of feeling the moment with her? Now let's set up who her audience is. Her audience, her ideal target market is a woman whose husband left her, maybe cheated on her, or they've had a divorce, and it's very painful for them. Like, it wasn't their choice. Is that correct, Mary Jo? Okay. So get the scenario, people who've had something kind of quote unquote happen to them and they feel broken and hurt.
And we were there on a sunny day. And they have these things that you can put the headphones on and you can listen to the history. And I would have stayed there all day and listened to all of it. My daughter wasn't quite into all of that, but I heard enough. And they said,
see, like, there's an example. The daughter part's not important. That pulls away from this. Instead, I'm listening.
look at each window, and I'm going around looking at each window. Then you get to one whole panel, floor to ceiling, and there's no light coming through it at all because it's blocked. Now, it wasn't created that way. It wasn't built that way. It's blocked because someone, for whatever reason, built a building right on the other side of it. And so no light gets through that window. And because of that, you don't get any of that beauty coming in. You get none of the light pouring into it. You also get no light pouring out, which of course you would see at night. That chapel, if it were lighted at night, would show all that beauty to the outside world. That window is blocked. I think that's a huge analogy for us. We have God's light, and
so it's
grace.
Good. So you guys get, she's building a good analogy. Can you guys see that? Here's what would really have landed at Mary Jo. So there's this window, and it's made to be beautiful. It's made to light up the night. It's made to share its beauty. It's made to be gorgeous. And through no fault of its own, someone does something that stops the light coming through it. And then you pause, and then you look right into the camera and you say, and you're that window. It's not your fault. You didn't do it. And someone outside of you did something that broke or stopped the light. And it's time we get you back to being the beauty that you were made to be. And the good news is there's not really a building. It's just something that happened. But you were made to share that light. You were made to be beautiful. And it's time we get the light back into. Sarah, you see the difference between those two? Turn and just bam, bring it to them, because we want them. You guys, when we're going to our big pitch, when we're going to our offering, I don't care what kind of personality you're selling to. It's called the heart close. Our final offer, like on day 2, we do our normal close. Day 3 of a 3-day event, we do a heart close. Or if you're speaking from stage from an hour where you're doing a pure sale, not just a set an appointment thing, you want people like, you want them feeling this. So wham, you land, and then it's so much clearer. Like it's not just about, like it's right there. Does that make sense? Cool. Yeah. So that I want you to get them like crying at this moment.
Pouring into us, and that light shining out from us, that reflection of God's love shining out from us. But it can be blocked. It can be blocked.
So it's not bad right now. That's okay.
For whatever reason.
Now something she's doing also, I'm going to turn it down while it plays. Please write this down, you guys. The curse of earnestness or the curse of sincerity, whichever goes for you. As when I restart this, notice how she's so sincere and she's so sincere and she's so sincere that she's so sincere that it starts to just sound sincere, and it sounds like the same thing over and over and over. So many speakers get caught in that.
We can't allow that light to come in, and we can't shine with that light that comes out. Is that landing for anybody here?
And it was landing. They got it. It'll land better next time.
But I think that's such a strong message.
So what we need to do when we're presenting, we have times we get angry. We have to have times we're funny and goofy, times we're sad, times we're normal, times we're just really matter of fact, even in the offer. So Mary Jo, something overall from your thing I saw, you are a very sincere woman, and you're very good at making yourself known. And I believe our greatest strength can be our greatest weakness. Sometimes you take long to explain things. In Occam's razor says everything else being equal, the shortest way to explain something is probably the best and truest. Rich is raising his hand on that one. Is that you, Rich? Yeah. So Occam's razor is a practice for all of us. Do you guys remember the old USA Today newspaper? I don't even know if they make them anymore. But basically, if you could find one somewhere, down the left-hand column, they would have one paragraph, maybe a couple sentences on the headlines, and then it would say, see more, go to page 4. And then on page 4, there's like a full half page or quarter page article. We want to practice Occam's razor, shorter, simpler, sweeter, easier.
And it leads very much into what I want to offer you, because we've touched on.
And it's not everything we do is for the pursuit of the good of the audience. So it's not what I want to offer you, what I want to make available to you. If you're ready for your light to shine again, if you're ready to be that expression of God's love, if you're ready to get out of that dark, if you're ready to leave behind that building that was put there, and one of the things, you guys, you have to land, it's not their fault. Please write it down. It's not their fault. They need to get that their situation is not their fault, but it is their responsibility to change. It's not their fault, just like it's not the fault of that window. But if that window had a consciousness and that window wants light to come through, then it's up to that window to move.
Looking behind us, as Margie says, you can't walk backwards, but you do have to look that direction to kind of assess it, to see remember when I talked about the timeline? If you take a really intense look at your timeline of life, you can find out a whole lot.
And you see how it's kind of like flowing from one to another with no delineation? We want to have so let's talk about how we make this happen. and then you use it with your hands or with PowerPoint. Part 1, we're going to do this. Part 2, we're going to do this. Part 3, we're going to do this. Part 1, part 2, part 3. But make it's you need to break it up into like chapters for the mind of the audience to grab it
Field.
better.
What can help you move on? Strengths. We talked about the present. And again, Margie said, we can look at the present, not make it any worse than it is. We can look at it and make it better. And then we look toward the future. What changes can we make? What do we want life to look like, regardless of your situation? You may be widowed, divorced, you may be single.
That's nice right there. The way you delivered that was nice. What do we want life to be like?
We just let life happen. We just are like, like we're in the river and turning around with all the logs and all the stuff that's in the river, but we're not swimming and we're not in a boat. We're just letting the river take us. That doesn't have to be that way. We can discover the tools that God's built into us, those strengths that he's given us, the personality style that we're born with and that we develop. We can recognize where that power comes from, like Alice talked about. We can take a look at who we're surrounding ourselves with, like Kim talked about.
So part of what's off here too, you notice how she told the story to get them in an emotional state, and now she's like teaching again? She's creating a huge gap between the emotion and the buy opportunity. People buy on emotion and back it up with logic. So in my notes, I have 2 things. 1 is create the future, and then 2, what are you doing with 4 question marks? And in all caps, sell the coaching. Too long between. You guys get them emotional, sell them. Don't sell them if they're not emotional. Get them emotional, sell them. Like it's too much teachy, too much logic-y here.
We can recognize our true beauty, like Kelly talked about. We can, in that way.
And then also
use
it's a
the
lot
word
of we
control,
can.
but we can become.
Instead of we can, let's start asking rhetorical questions. What would it be like for you to find your beauty again? What would it mean to you to own your future? What would it mean for your, I just saw Christine there. What would it mean for your dental practice if you had an additional $100,000 a month coming in? What would it mean if your patients got better care? What would it mean if your office was happier?
Journey. Just a second here.
So too long in between.
Bear with me with the technology here.
All right. And so now we're going to go into the actual offer slides she's going to have.
Okay. Remember that Patrick Overton poem, when you walk to the edge of all the light you have and take that first step into the darkness of the unknown, you must believe that one of 2 things will happen. There will be something solid for you to stand upon, or you will be taught how to fly.
So I love that. It's such a good lead in. It's beautiful physically. It speaks to it. It's creating a future for them. Love, love, love it.
This is what I want to help you see, that you have the.
And then again, questions. You guys practice for a day or a half day. Can you teach everything by asking questions? Can you have all your conversations being questions? And I don't mean annoy people around you, like let them know what you're going to do or practice it. But in this, not here's what I want for you. What would it be like for you? Would you like to? Who wants to? And then it's a trial close. You could say, who wants to learn how to fly? And then they're gonna, yes. And then what the way I picture this is there's a hot air balloon, and that's the sail. And every rope we put onto it ties it down to the earth, and that cements the sail. So every trial close is a tie down. So when you say, who wants to learn how to fly? And they say yes to themselves, or they raise their hand, that's tying it down with another rope. Every yes is another rope, another rope, another rope. And the idea is to tie it down securely, to tie down the sail. So start asking more questions rhetorically and literally. Like sometimes you'll say, literally, show your hands. Who wants to fly? Or rhetorically, who wants to fly?
Opportunity to fly. You can stay on the ledge stuck in the dark, or you can take the leap and learn to fly.
So this is nice. I love
I have a
this.
signature coaching program I'm launching called The Beautiful Way
And all of
to
you,
True Happiness.
do not say you're launching it unless you're going to give a Founder's Circle discount or something like that. I spoke once and I had it was my first time to try, and I say try on purpose, to sell my own program. I had 100 people in the room. I was guest speaking somewhere, and people were going crazy. They were like raising their hands like, I'm in, I'm in, I'm in. And then I go, yeah, this is our first time to ever do this. And I saw everyone in the room stop and kind of look at each other like, oh, what? And one person bought. If I hadn't have said, this is my first time, we probably would have had 12 people buy. I'm so glad Bridget got in here so Bridget can see your slides for the future.
Of 12 weeks, during which time we're going to deal with the past. We're going to look at the present and improve it. And we're going to embrace the future with joy.
Yeah. What does that mean, embrace the future? Who wants to embrace their future? No, we're going to create your future. So you say what's going to happen. Hey, just because that building, imagine this, and I'm making this up on the spot, so it won't be, maybe it'll be great. Imagine this, that window had a building built next to it. You had something happen next to you that you didn't have control over and it stole your light. But I want you to imagine this. What if you could be so powerful, you say to that building, move, and that building moves? Or a building never gets built next to you again like that because we're going to give you the tools to make your future so powerful that you say what happens the rest of your life. Well, you and God. You guys, it's almost like a minister in a way. It's like, come on. It's like that, we want to call them to a future.
It's a 12-week online coaching program for women who've experienced divorce. There are 12 weekly online lessons and 12 weekly group coaching calls. And each of those calls will be about 90 minutes. The total value of that is $5,000.
Why are you shaking your head, Mary Jo?
Because there's like you, I mean, I was reading the chat. I just couldn't respond to it when you were direct messaging me through that. The energy that needs to be there is not there.
No.
And it sounds like it's too much in my head and not coming from my heart.
Yes. And to be fair, it's your first time. So everybody write this down. On the offer, the energy is up. The offer is the most exciting time. The offer is the happiest time because the offer is where they get to change their life. You guys, nothing happens until they buy. It's all, I'm going to speak frank for a second. It's all bullshit until they buy. It's all talk. And if you look at how much value you guys have gotten out of this program, the people who didn't buy, they have no idea and they haven't gotten any of it. It's all bullshit. And people are like, oh, it's so great. It sounds great. I want it. And they don't buy. It's all bullshit. The opportunity to change lives, the privilege to change lives only happens when they give you the credit card. Because now they're committed. Now they're in. Now they're going to show up. Hopefully, anyway. Does that land for you guys? I don't want to be too harsh. I really want you guys to get this because too many people soft pedal their offer, especially in a big event, and then they get nothing. Also, I'd like to see you have this 5,000 sit up longer. Here's some psychology for you guys on the offer. We want them to be staring at that 5,000. And then in your offer, we broke down an offer, one of the calls recently. I don't know which one we did it in. In an offer, you're going to have I'll just call it your main course. So in your offer, you have your main course. Double entendre wasn't meant, but we'll put it there. So your main course, and that's what you're offering. And then you're going to have the retail value. So her retail value is 5,000. And then for us over here to write, I'll define retail value. Retail value is the high price. Whatever's included in your main course, we want to sell I want the audience to look at this course for $5,000 in 12 weeks and be so convinced that they want it, that they're willing to spend $5,000 just for that. When you create your main course, you want them to be a yes just to that at the high price. Because if you then add bonuses and discount it, you're going to get a ton of sales. Selling from stage, you'll see as we go through this, it is very similar to infomercials. If you want to get good at selling from stage, you got to watch more infomercials. But wait, there's more. Hey, you need this tomato peeler or whatever it is they sell. Who knows what they're selling lately? I don't know. Patches. I've seen this like a patch to stop holes. So they talk about the problem. Oh my gosh, your rowboat's gonna sink. You even have a rowboat. You're like, I really need this. They have problem, solution, how easy it is. They give the price, they give a discount, and then like, oh, and if you buy now, you get another one free. And then you also get these extras if you say yes now. That is very much the formula for selling from stage. Why do they do this? Because it works. That's why they do it. It works, and you got to do it if you're going to sell from stage. So back to Mary Jo, we want to sell her main course at $5,000. That's our goal right now, is to have her sell so that like that's worth it, so that when she comes along later and gives a discount, it's going to happen. Now, she's closed 2 out of 2 calls, which tells me she did better with her offer than we might have thought, because she's got 2 out of 2 people to say yes. So we're doing okay. If you do have questions on the way, guys, raise hands for me or put them in the chat.
We also have the opportunity to have a deep dive workshop with Margie. How many of you?
So you notice she didn't sell the value of that last thing at all? What would it be like for you to have 12 weeks with a group of committed women? What would it be like for you to actually get this handled? What would it do for your future to get your finances handled, your relationships handled, your whatever handled, to reignite with your kids? What would that mean for you?
Would love to have the opportunity to have like.
So Margie spoke during her event, so they had a relationship. So this is a tool a lot of people do that I love. And Ken does this at his event. If you have guest speakers who have a really valuable offer, you let them speak during the event and they don't sell. And then you come back later and go, hey, wasn't Margie awesome? Who thinks it would benefit your life to work with Margie? Well, she's doing a deep dive workshop. It's $1,000. And everyone who says yes today, you're going to get it for free. So they're like, oh my gosh, I get access to these people. So that's one way you can. So what Ken does at his event is he'll have a couple of different trainers speak. And normally those are people who would sell a $1,000 thing. And he buys it for people who join his highest level program. He buys it for them. So they're getting these cool bonuses. Remember, we said your bonuses don't have to be your own. You could find people who have cool bonuses and include them in your package. I told you there's a place called Frontside outside of Vegas. They sold a package and they included a Rolex. How do they include a Rolex? They just increased the price.
Hours of Margie to instill. I'm sure what she just shared with us was just the surface of that. So she actually does a full workshop on discovering and embracing our beautiful confidence within us and stepping into that life you deserve. I don't think you could come out of a work.
Too much telling, not enough asking. Do you see it? For all of you, really learn this. Like ask. So they're active participants in the conversation.
With Margie and not feel like your life had been.
I know I'm doing my sales calls wrong when I catch myself telling instead of asking. Like, here's what's in it. Then I'm really not finding out where they are.
Transformed. I also have
you also get
dive workshop with Rose Sweet. Rose couldn't be here today.
Okay.
She already had
Pause. Anybody, Mary Jo, it could be you or anybody. What do I not like about what just happened? And if you guys just, the reason I'm looking over here, I have a separate monitor to see all of you over here. Who knows what I don't like about what just happened? Yeah, Loretta, let's bring you up. Loretta, what don't I like about what just happened?
The fact that you mentioned that you couldn't get this person to be present at this very important introduction of what it is that you're offering them.
Yes.
We wouldn't want to know that someone couldn't turn up, that we weren't important enough for them to turn up.
Yes. Oh, not just that. This event is so unimportant. Rose had better things to do with her life. Why am I here? And then when you're dealing with passion, it's like, I'm a passionate, Loretta's a passionate. If you guys, when you go through my personality things, like passionates are fun, and a lot of ego. What happens for us is like, oh, Rose couldn't be here. I shouldn't be here either. Where's Rose? Where's Rose hanging out? I'm as important as Rose. Where's Rose? Let's go hang out with Rose. Rose, right, Loretta? Like, why am I even here? Good work, Loretta. Thank you. Nice catch. It figures a passionate would find that. So, and how does it even add to the offer to say it? How about instead, folks, let me tell you about a woman named Rose Sweet. She is one of the most amazing trainers you're ever going to meet in your entire life. And here's the deal about Rose Sweet. Rose has an internationally acclaimed program, Surviving Divorce. She's absolutely brilliant. She does a training, and I think it's so great. It's worth $1,000. I'm going to buy it for you for free when you join my program. We don't need to tell them Rose isn't here and she couldn't make the time. You're not taking this personal, are you, Mary Jo? Okay, great.
Things on her schedule, and since the world is opening up again, she's traveling. But Rose has been a mentor and a friend. She is the author of the internationally acclaimed program Surviving Divorce that a lot of churches use. It's an amazing program, and it's been picked up by Ascension Press, and she is internationally known. This is on temperaments and personality styles, and she is actually.
Now, I liked what you said about her book, and she's been picked up. So you could, in the future, show her picture and then her books, and then say she's brilliant. She has a course. It's $1,000. I'm going to buy this for you.
Pointed out to me that my temperament wasn't what
are you talking about? I'm not being mean, but it's going to land mean. Like, what are you talking about?
I know it went off in rabbit track.
Just to be clear for all of you guys, do you understand I'm talking to all of you right now? Because all of you tend to do stuff. Please write this down. You can only teach one thing at a time. You can only close one thing at a time. Stop teaching over teachings and burying the close. It's like, unless you're going to tell us a story about a breakthrough you had because you learned temperaments and how your life is better forever because of it, leave it out. Now, if it's a story that makes the point of how valuable it is, then tell it. No, Dale. So Dale asked, does Rose take away from Mary Jo's offer since she has a program about divorce? That could be in their space, though. So two things. One, she's going to include it, so it's okay. But then two, you may want to say why it's a compliment. So why is Rose's a compliment for yours as opposed to a replacement for yours?
Just because Rose's is a canned program offered by churches. It's video based. It's not, what I'm offering is a coaching program that is individual for the participants. And I didn't make the point in that we were not just buying a program of Roses. We were buying Rose for the day. I mean, she's doing the training.
Okay, so that would be
which I didn't.
Powerful. It will be a private live training only for my coaching group.
Right.
And then you link an assumptive close. When you join my program, imagine what it would be like to train with one of the world's top trainers privately in a small group for 4 hours.
Yeah, boy, I missed that.
It still doesn't answer why she is a complement and not a replacement.
The programs that you get through church groups that are designed to be divorce recovery programs don't approach your individual grief recovery at the level and they don't plan out your individual future. They are not coaching programs.
But why are you bringing her in at all then?
Because she has a new book coming out and she teaches on temperaments. That is one piece of our program that I want to bring in.
So I think what will work there is earlier in the event, teach the importance of knowing your temperament. Remember, we said set up the need earlier. So earlier, talk about temperaments. Tell a story about not knowing your temperaments and then discovering it. Another woman who didn't know, then discovered it, and how their life is easier. And then when you come to
Okay.
the offer, then you go, hey, remember I talked about temperaments? Well, Rose has this book coming out. She's brilliant. She's a friend of mine. I've studied with her. I think temperaments is so important. I've hired her to do a private training. What would it do for you to discover your temperaments privately? And then, does that make sense?
Yes.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a compliment, not a replacement.
Yeah.
Cool.
Was thought it was. So that to me was a huge burst of freedom for me. Both Margie's and Rose's workshops, the retail value of those is $1,000. We also have a separate online self-paced course. The other one is not self-paced. It is with a group, and it contains that group coaching program. Authentic Beautiful You is another course that I have as a follow-up. It is self-paced, and which means you can take it on your own schedule.
So when we're offering bonuses like this, and you guys notice this because I'm gonna do a different screen share. So she has, and I find a lot of us tend to do this when we're defining things. We say what it is, we say the details of it, and then the outcome of it. Appreciate your unique gifts, talents, strengths, show up as your true self. The way to present this more powerfully is to switch the order. So instead, what I want you guys to start doing when you're presenting your bonuses, here's how you want to present a bonus. At the top of your slide, ultimate outcome of the bonus. Not the name of the bonus, the ultimate outcome. So in this case, it would be show up as true self by knowing your gifts, talents, and strengths. But that's not even the ultimate outcome. What's the ultimate outcome of showing up as your true self by knowing your gifts, talents, and strengths? Own your future. So I have a bonus. It's how to own your future. When you know your gifts, talents, and strengths, you can show up as your true self. And the way you do that is a program, and then you put the name of the program, and then the value of the program. So for instance, when I sell my personality types, up here it won't say personality types, it will say quit killing deals. And then I might have some bullets over here. Bullets on outcomes. And it'll be, quit saying the wrong thing, speak their language, get discounts, get people to pay more with personality types. Here's the value. Is this landing for you guys, or is it too abstract, or is it landing? Let me get some nods from you guys. Yeah, David, is this landing for you? Okay, cool. It's hard to tell with the black hat. Cool. So for this, we'll go back to this one then. Authentic Beautiful You doesn't mean anything, but an outcome means something, and then you back into the course. Remember, you always want to sell what you're going to teach and then sell what you're selling. So sell outcomes, pains and pleasures. Here's the solution. Here's the price for the solution. Does that land, Mary Jo? Cool.
Be there for you for as long as
the energy is just way too low,
jump
right?
into it right away, and you can take your time. This helps you understand.
Plus, have you all noticed through all of these, does it look different, or does everything pretty much look the same as we go through this offer? It all pretty much looks the same, right? Oh boy, it's hard to fast forward, rewind in here. And you can, but every offer is the same blue background, the same whatever. So there's no delineation. And this is where I bet Bridget could help all of us in the future. What you want to do, instead of it looking the same, give each element its own identity. Let me say that again. Give each element its own identity. So each element in your presentation, every bonus you have, every main course needs to have its own look and logo. And then your bonuses each need to have their own look and logo, Where have you guys seen me do that with some of the stuff that I've talked about? Anybody want to unmute and take a guess? You've heard me talk about this stuff. And
all your programs.
Yes, exactly. So we have, thanks Francesca. So we have, compelling content, dynamic delivery, and you. So I could just sell a coaching program that has content, delivery, and you, or I give them an identity. We have a 3-day intensive called Your Core Script. We have a 3-day intensive called Dynamic Delivery. We have a 5-day intensive called Dynamic Life. We have a 3-day intensive called Be Funny, Make Money, the Speaker's Comedy Camp. When I give them each their own identity and logo, it shows up as different and it shows up more valuable. And I can give them each their own standalone value. So if someone wants to spend $15,000 for Dynamic Life, they're welcome to. Or if they want to spend $10,000 for core, they're welcome to. And then upgrading to the bigger package will be an easier upgrade because they've already spent so much. Does that make sense? And then like even when I'm doing my big pitch for Black Belt live, when I talk about private one-on-ones, that has its own logo to it. Every element has its own logo and its own identity so that it really stands out to the mind of the audience. Any questions on any of that so far for anybody? Let's see where I can see all you guys. Nobody? Are you guys getting value out of this? Okay, cool. So, and I'm almost thinking the color of the slide maybe should change, or at least the logo on it for each different element. So they're getting clear, oh, it's something different, it's something different, it's something different. So let's go to the next bonus you have. I am proud of you, by the way. She was going to do her offer with no slides. This is why I do like slides, guys, because it shows physically kind of like how much is in this offer. And if you're going to use slides at your close, you need to use slides through the presentation. Whatever you're going to do during your offer, you have to do earlier. So if you're going to show testimonials during the offer, you have to show testimonials during your presentation. If you're going to talk about case studies during your offer, you need to have case studies earlier. If you're going to show recorded testimonials, you need to show something recorded earlier. You have to keep the integrity of the presentation the same.
So many things on her schedule, and force that a lot of churches use. It's amazing, and it's been picked up by Ascension Press, and she is internationally known. This is on temperaments and personality styles, and she is actually the one who pointed out to me that my temperament wasn't what I was thought it was. So that to me was a huge burst of freedom for me. Both Margie's and Rose's workshops, the retail value of those is $1,000. We also have a separate online self-paced course. The other one is not self-paced. It is with a group, and it contains that group coaching program. Authentic Beautiful You is another course that I have as a follow-up. It is self-paced, and which means you can take it on your own schedule. It will be there for you for as long as you want. You don't have to jump into it right away, and you can take your time. This helps you understand and appreciate your unique gifts and talents and strengths and show up as your true self. That will also include, as part of that, some of the spiritual strengths assessments and some of the personality with Rose.
So she just said spiritual strength assessments. Could you guys understand her? Or was it too far? All right, please write this down. Assessments. People love assessments. If you look at how many quizzes there are on Facebook, discover what kind of dog you are. Discover what kind of Santa Claus you are. People love that stuff, you guys. So if there's any way to build assessments into your program, I highly encourage it. People love to learn about themselves. They love filling out those quizzes. They love getting the results. Not only will you sell more, it's fun for people, and people just really, really dig it. So add assessments as you can. They're really valuable.
You'll get a temperaments.
So I would actually
also
put that up there. Temperaments, maybe even break it out. Temperaments assessment.
There are some other things that I didn't write down in this, but that value of that course is $2,500. So the Beautiful Way package is a total value of $8,500.
So what she's missing here is a value stack. What you want to do is you present your main course, and she didn't sell the main course at the 5,000. You want to present at the 5,000 and sell it. So please write this down, you guys. If all this did, at some point in your offer, typically after you present the main course, you want to say, if all this did was X, would it be worth Y? If all this did was X, would it be worth 5,000 bucks? Or you could say, would it be worth it? If all this did was help you get a solid foundation so that you never have to worry about money again, would it be worth $5,000? If all this did was help you actually get out of the pain of that divorce, would it be worth $5,000? If all this did was got you a tribe of women and a best friends who are your new best friends for life, and you had a community to support you as you journeyed, would it be worth 5,000 bucks? We want to sell them at that price. And then what we want to do is have a value stack where we show the main course and we add the bonuses. So now we're making a more expensive program. So all they've seen so far is the high price and then an even higher price when we're adding in the bonuses. So they're looking at it and ideally going, man, I'll spend 5,000 for this. All right, I'll spend 5,000 for this. And then we'll drop the price and close them on the lower price. So that, like the whole infomercial model. So that's what we want to do. And frankly, not just want to do, but we need to do. So the value stack would look something like everything she's presented and ideally would have logos. So it would be item, so it'd be like main course, and then the price, and then bonus, price, like the name of it, bonus, price, bonus, price, new, total, and then like the big price of everything above put together, and then discount. And then she'll go, and then the call to action, here's your new price, here's how you go buy it, and then fast action bonuses. For those of you who say yes right now, here's what you get. So then you list fast action bonus, and you go slide, 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 and then you put them all on one slide. And then you do a total value stack where you show everything that they get with the grand total, and then you give that discounted price again. The same one there. So you'll see an example of it here. You guys, this works for everything. Wayne, who's on the call, Wayne sells hearing aids. We're going to work with Wayne in the future because he's got an actual, brick and mortar business selling something tangibly. This works for that too, you guys. When you're going to sell hearing aids, you can include bonus trainings. You could include bonus batteries, bonus cases, bonus all kinds of stuff. So you want to build a big value stack like this no matter what you're selling. And
that has probably thrown some people into sticker shock.
No.
But
they might not have been in sticker shock.
Is since it's my first time offering it, and it is my gift to you because this is what I'm called to do.
Now that you can say.
I could live my life comfortably. I'm not wealthy, but.
So what you could say is, I've been doing this work for a long time. This is my first time to formally, this is our premiere time, or I want you to be part of our founders circle. So you're going to get a really special deal and or something, and then you give the discount. So you want to be talking and let them see that 8,500 for a while so that when you discount, it's really like a big wham. But also you didn't do the stack. So it's hard for people to remember what's included. And people just go brain dumb at times. So you need to show it all and then offer it. And then what she's about to say is, you guys, I could be very comfortable. I don't need to worry about money. Well, let me play it, then I'll give you the coaching I have for her.
I'm not hurting either. And if I played my cards right, I could pretty much do what I want and not worry about any of this stuff. But I would not be fulfilling my purpose.
So right there, you missed a beautiful moment to go. And that's part of the reason I'm offering this. This is what I want for you. I don't want you to ever have to worry about money either. I want you to get your life set up to where you've got your finances handled like I do, so that you guys get, we need to bring money into everything we offer. We need to bring money in. So if she says part of this program is, look, part of what we're having her say there is, I don't need to do this, guys. I have the money. And so they get it's not a money grab. So it justifies a discount. First time justifies a discount. And then she's also saying, you can have a life like that too when you work with me. And I would imagine for a lot of these women, Mary Jo, finances is a big motivator, scary point. So you want to sell the idea of getting them set up going forward. You're going to journey with them on that.
Be living out my mission, because
Now, this is the other
I'm-
thing, and I would maybe even put it on the screen. One, I don't need the money. And then two, more importantly, God gave me this mission. Like, land it. Like, don't flow into it, land it. Like, God, you guys, I'm here. This is my mission. I have to do this. So I'm going to give you a discount because God told me to do this.
to wear that headlamp in the dark, in the cave, and help lead you out. I have some bonuses here. I have something I call in your corner. That's 5 individual one-on-one hour-long coaching sessions.
So right here, have the free come in after you talk about it. You want to sell it. Hey, what would it mean to have me in your corner? You need someone in your corner. And like say a couple times, in your corner, have in your corner up on screen, and they go, so imagine this, 5 one-on-one sessions. The value, that's $1,500. And right now, this is where you're directing the action. If you want that, it's absolutely free. So really, when she gave the discounted price, that's when she should have directed the action to buy. If she was doing a close like that with a link, that's where she would have done it. And then as she gives these fast action bonuses, she would say, only for the first few people do you get the one-on-one coaching sessions. And so anyone that's teeter-tottering, that gets them to go in. The fast action bonus is like that final little kick, that final little nudge that gets people to go.
And I'm including that for free. That is a fast action bonus, which means if you take action within the next 4 days,
Okay.
that's in.
Where did that come from? And who just put your hand up if you know what I really didn't like about that. Okay, good. Anybody not know what I didn't like about that? Where did that come from, Mary Jo?
I don't know.
We're doing
I
all
do
this
not
work.
know.
That
There
thing-
are some things that just happen and you think, well, how did that slip out of my mouth?
All right, good. I'm glad it was planned. I'm happier it was an accident than planned. You guys,
No,
we're
it wasn't planned.
excited about buying. We're getting them primed. We're putting bonuses. If we've done the event
And then
right,
I say, you don't have to do it right now.
think about
Yeah.
you guys, time limitations work because they work. And some of the stuff we can't do them artificially. Like we have to hold to it. After 4 days, it's gone. We have to stick to it. Otherwise, it's a lie, and then that'll show up. Then we use it though because people have been trained to say no. And you have these women who are in just hell right now, and they're miserable, and they see a way out. And waiting from Saturday to Monday could be the difference of a yes and a no. When they wait, they might never buy. So for all of you, you're building the offer so that the experience is, I say yes to my entire future by saying yes to this moment. And when you think about it, isn't that truly how your future gets built? It's a series of moment by moment yeses to the future you want. People live like one day, someday, maybe they'll do it, but it all comes, you give a yes in a moment, and that's when things change. You take a step towards what you want in a moment, and that's when things change. Otherwise, things don't change.
You know, I think that was self-sabotage. I mean, in looking at it, I hate to say that,
Don't hate to say
but
it. Great.
but I mean, I really do. And after today, after having 2 conversations that were very easy to close, I don't think I'll ever do that again. But
Yes.
it, and listening to it, and I listened to it last night, and I thought, "Ah, why did you do that? Why give an out? Why apologize?" So
Our compelling content times dynamic delivery times you.
ooh,
it's
It's
it is unnatural to be adept at offering and closing from stage, guys. And plus, if you think about it from a personal growth point of view, you're putting this piece of you out there that it's just valuable, that your heart's in. And if they say no to that, it's really easy to make the mistake of believing they're saying no to you. So we will do squirrely things and let people off the hook and not just be really straight and offer. You know, one of the trainings under the U section in the library is the mindset for sales. And we go through a practice where you learn to just ask people, would you like to do it? Without any weirdness, because we tend to get weird. And if you can just ask people, would you like to do it? Then it gives them a chance to say yes. So I would encourage you guys to go through the Kat. Let's bring you up here. Yes, Kat.
I have a question about the difference between, my brain's not working today. So the fast action bonus and the fact that you're discounting it. So you sort of say, this is how much it is, but if you buy it today, it's discounted this. But the fast action bonus is only for a certain amount of people, like the first 5 or something. Because otherwise, if you say if you buy it today, it's a fast action bonus. It's like, well, why are you discounting it in the future? Is that just because they're at the event? Like, how do you word that?
It's kind of when you say, so the way we'll say is retail value is our high price, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Mary Jo might say retail value of the coaching package is $5,000. And then she adds. She says total value is $8,500, and then event special, $19,997, and then fast action bonuses. Everyone who buys today at $19,997, you also get this, and this. This is
well,
your
what's the difference
bonus
between
for
me buying it? What's the difference between the event special? Like, how am I wording this wrong?
I get what you're saying, because it's kind of all event special, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's I sort of have the feeling of like, if you were to just go on my website and buy it, it would be at the retail price. But because you're here at this event, you get this discount price. But then the fast action bonus is just
bonuses. We're just calling them fast action bonuses, so it gives conceptually to their mind and heart a little extra bonus. We could just lump it all together and say you get all of this for this low price. But when we're closing from stage, it allows us to do another call. At your first call to action, the people who are like the controllers and the results oriented or the really committed, they're the first to the table.
Mm-hmm.
And then your passionates go. And then you got your accommodators kind of thinking, and then you got your planners who are processing. It gives you time to close these different waves of people to get to the back table. So It just positions it separately. And then separately, the fast action bonuses, she really might not offer your main course. Ideally will stay the main course forever. Like the main course for Black Belt is our 4 live intensives. Right now, a bonus I'm including is one-on-one writing, but when I go to sell in September, hopefully we're gonna have 50 to 60 people. I can't handle that, so I'm not including one-on-ones. So a fast action bonus I have right now is you get the one-on-one writing. I'm not gonna always offer that. Another way to think about fast action bonuses is as you guys are making friends with people or hosting events, let's suppose someone in here has a weight loss event, right? And it's coming up a month after Mary Jo speaks. Well, Mary Jo could work out a deal and get everybody 2 tickets or a ticket to the weight loss event. And that truly is just a specific moment in time fast action bonus. So what I would do when I was selling from stage, I might offer some fast action bonuses I just met someone that has an event coming up, or I have something specifically that I don't know I'm always going to involve in the offer, but for this one I am. And so it makes a nice way to do it extra, because on your order forms and stuff, you'll print your main course and your main bonuses, but then you could have them hand write your fast action bonuses.
Right. That actually lands a bit better when you say it's something like, for example, my friend's doing a nutritional day this week. So if you buy today, you'll get that. But if you buy next week, well, you've missed it because it's not even a fit. Like it's a time sensitive, rather than here, you get this book and you can get it whenever. This is a thing that if you don't get it now, then it's gone and you've missed it and you won't get it again.
It does land clearer when it's a friend's thing next week and it's gone. But what I believe you have to do though, is build your offer and stick to your offer. And say, they could get the book and they could pay $20, but if you buy right now, I'm giving you the book for free. And the reason we're willing to give more for free and give discounts now is we're both here in this moment. And the truth is, for you guys that are selling, you need to do everything you can to get that yes, especially the first yes. Once they say yes once, they'll say yes more and more. And if you deliver well, they're going to say yes more and more and more and more and more to you. But that first yes, you got to do everything you can. So I truly would include bonuses that they could buy at retail value next week, but you're going to get it this. I'm giving you this amazing sweet deal. And part of the way to think about it's Costco. Costco sells a crap ton of stuff to members so they can give a better price. Well, I want to sell a crap ton of stuff during my live event so I can cut down on the price because we're buying in volume here.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we're having a bunch of people buy in volume. I get discounted volume.
Yeah.
And to be honest, what's in the main course, what's a bonus, and what could be a fast action bonus, except for the core part of the main course, everything else could be switched where you present it and how you present it.
Yeah.
So one thing might be a fast action bonus this week and a bonus next week. You play with it to see what converts. And then as you get cool stuff, so like one time I don't have it even here. I was at a trade show and this guy was giving away, this is back when selfie sticks were cool with the Bluetooth remotes, like a long time ago. So he had a box of them left over. I'm like, dude, what do you do with those? He's like, you want them? I'll sell them to you really cheap. I'm like, yep. So the next time I went to sell black belt, everyone who bought black belt got a selfie stick.
Yeah.
You know? And it was truly like one time. Well, we got a lot of them. So it was like for 3 or 4 events, we had selfie sticks included. But you get the idea. So yeah. I know, Kat, it's kind of weird to think about it first. And it almost could land like you're gaming the audience in a way. You are infomercialing them. And why do we do it? Because people have been burned, people have been hurt, and people have been trained to say no. And so we put dynamics in. Now, if you're going to have integrity with this, though, and you say, hey, this is fast action bonus for this event only. Now, you could say, okay, if like one of the things we'll do is people, like when we're selling at a 3-day event, they're like, I really want it, but I got to talk to so-and-so. And like, it's an event thing. So here's what we can do to be in integrity. Fill out the paperwork. We won't charge your credit card, but at least we have an agreement in place. And then that gets people to fill out paperwork. And if they fill out paperwork, some people don't buy, we just rip it up, but majority of people do wind up following through. So we got to do everything we can to get the yes in the moment, because when the moment's gone, you guys, if I've had 100 people tell me, oh yeah, let me think about it or come back, maybe two out of 100. The other 98 are gone. Did that help, Kat?
Yeah, it does. It feels like an image that's fuzzy, and I just need to like get my focus. I know it's there. I know it makes sense. It's just that my brain's trying to like claw onto it.
Yeah, and one thing I'd encourage you to do for all of you, find cool bonuses, and then remember they don't have to be yours. So, Kat, you're teaching performance and stuff. I bet there's some dance wear, or some performance-related shoes, or weapons stuff. I don't know.
It's more. I mean, I'm down with sort of offerings and what bonuses I can include. I think it's more like how I explain why I'm offering them and like what the rules of the deal is. Like if you buy it now, but if you don't buy it tomorrow, this is what you're going to miss out on. But you don't have to really focus on that. It's just include, build.
No, you do. You say just what you said, and you be authentic about it. You guys, this is what I would tell you. This is what I would say to them, and here's what I'd encourage you to say. We're here, and I'm going to do everything I can to get you to say yes. So to get you to say yes today, I'm going to include this and this and this, and I'm also going to include this. It's not available tomorrow. It's today. Why? Because I want you to say yes to your future today.
Yeah.
Sure, you're going to make more money, more sales, but it's about them. It's everybody wins when they say yes. Life happens in a yes. So I'm going to do everything I can to get. I would literally say that from stage. So I'm going to also give you. I'm going to give you my iced coffee if that gets you to say yes today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like. And then the more you study your audience, the more you know what they want. Then let's suppose everybody wants iced coffee. I'm going to go freaking order pre-made iced coffees, and that's going to be a part of the offer.
Yeah.
I'm going to add everything I can, but I'm not going to keep iced coffees around all year long.
Yeah. I'm
going to order them so I have enough for that room.
Yeah.
I know it's weird, but stick with it. Great question, Kat.
Thank you.
Let's go to Rich, and then I want to go back to that video. By the way, guys, we're almost to our 90 minutes. If you got to jump off, jump off. If you can stay on, stay on. By the way, a lot of people, including Kat, been asking me about recordings. You guys, oh my gosh, we're finally getting them all up. Thank you, Desi. I love you so much. I just sent her a list of all the videos to upload. Plus, I think you guys caught this. We played music on the breaks, and I thought I had stopped the recordings. All of our videos had copyright infringements, so I've had to go in and trim them. They're all finally done. So now YouTube will show all of them. So everything's uploaded to YouTube. We just need to get it posted in the membership site now. So that should all happen this week is our goal. Right, Desi? Yes, she nodded yes in front of all of you. So it's done this week. So
No, it will be done by Friday.
yes, thank you, Desi. I love you. So Rich, what do you got?
I love Desi too. Okay. So a couple things. I love Mary Jo and her gifts and her purpose.
Yeah.
And she reminded me to a lesson I've learned and I'll share. It's the importance of not deflating the powerful work by using words that you didn't mean to use. And I'm going to put it in the chat. As a matter of fact, I'll click it right now because I already wrote it. And it says, she said something like, so I don't have to worry about any of this stuff. It's like, yeah, that's all I'll say. You understand the point. Okay. And Jase, I trust that you're living by the law of diminishing intent that we all learn if we ever spend any time in our lives in multi-level marketing. It's like, if they don't buy now, tomorrow, they're going to be like 50% interested in buying. The next day it's going to be like 25%. It's like every day it goes down. And so it's now. Yeah. And the third thing is, Kat, I want to thank you. You have an interesting energy. And it looked like this. So, if you complicate it, just don't do that. You reminded us just in sharing that energy. Don't do that. It's like, keep it simple and do it from the heart. I think Jase's point was do it. There's a difference between saying, and I'm giving you this coffee. Oh, and there's more. And then there's a line you crossed and it's like, oh shit, excuse me. Oh, darn, this feels like an infomercial late at night. Why am I here? Oh my God, I'm being played. Versus Jase really cares about me. Versus Mary Jo, I love Mary Jo and she really cares about me. There's a difference. So whatever you're going to offer, I'm even going to share one of my favorite tops because I got and I'm going to put it in because I want you to do this work so much. I'm going to bless you with this. It's like, it's a big difference between plus order now. And you look in the camera as if you're looking into their left eye and saying, I'm doing this because this is going to change your life. Big difference.
Rich, that was a perfect segue to the next part of her presentation. Thank you. Thank you, Rich. So, Rich, so well said. And one of the points that Rich made that was so great, when people say no, it's so much harder to get a yes. You want to get that first yes. That first yes leads to more yeses. You guys got to do everything you can to get that first yes. So let me move forward because I really want to make sure that you all see this in here. So go back into this. And Rich was talking about include things that you love. So that's going to come up in a second.
That is an opportunity to really dive into your particular situation and see, how we can help you move forward, how we can
again more questions, less statements in the future.
Vision for where you want to go, assess where you are now, financially, physically, mentally, spiritually. Where do you want to go, and what are the areas that are keeping you from moving forward? Where might your blocks be? Where might if you think of a wheel?
See, there's no it's teachy. But hey, you're going to talk to that bank and you're going to do it alone. Now I want you to imagine you get to talk to me before you walk into that bank. I want you to imagine we've run your numbers. I want you to imagine before you go to whatever, we've coached you up so you're confident walking in there. What would that do for you? What would that be worth alone? That by itself would be worth $5,000.
Each of those components, physical, mental, financial, relational. You could think of some of those being flat areas. It's like having a flat tire. So where does the tire need to be pumped up?
And you're teaching too much during each one.
We also have a promises pack. These are
now this I'll play regular speed. Look at her face when she starts to talk about these and watch the difference in her demeanor.
That I've been collecting for a year. These are some of my favorite things.
That's the first emotion we've had and a positive vibe out of her the entire offer. Now we put this in strategically, and I may start to play with moving this up in the offer for all of you. Please write this down. Include things you love. So part of the reason we put this in here is this was going to be one of the last things she talks about before her final push. And so when she's talking about this, she's lit up by it. She's like, they're so cool. So I want you to talk about things that are so cool. Because if you think it's cool, the audience will think it's cool.
Yes, to take
Also, write this down, please. Tangible items. People will buy $20,000 programs to get a tangible tchotchke. I have seen this, and Danella and I were talking about it over and over and over again. And if the tangible thing, doesn't matter how much it costs, but it's cool, people will buy. People will buy just to get it.
pictures of them. But
And you, so I know we put together the PowerPoint you decided to do last minute, but it doesn't carry the same thing. Plus, you don't want to put them all out at once. Here's a tip, you guys, when she puts out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things on the screen at once, how many things has she given them? 1. There's 1 emotional impact. This is also why I think if you have a swag bag at your event, what we do, instead of giving you like a whole swag bag at once at a live event, we'll give you a bag with maybe 1 thing in it. And then every break, we put something more in your bag. So every break, people are like, or we put it on the seat. So every break, people, oh my gosh, what I get? I even went to an event once where every break we come back in, and our next swag thing was wrapped in gold wrapping paper with a bow and a box. So everybody's opening presents every break. It's like the law of reciprocity, the more you give, they feel obligated to give back, was huge. So Mary Jo, you want to have pictures of all these. What would have been better is to have a picture and then actually hold it up and then go to the slide to show the value. Because then when you hold it too, and you guys, when you hold stuff too, like I just put this, I'll show you how to do it wrong. I just put this screen protector on my phone. It was great. Versus, actually, I really did just buy this screen protector, and it was very cool because it had this little, you guys ever put a screen protector on your phone and it's not perfect? Like this thing goes around your phone, and so it lays in perfect. It was, I gotta tell you guys, like this was so great. So let me tell you about the next thing I have. Right? There's a communication, but actually, no joke. I really did like the screen protector. So, are you guys getting this? Having her show each one of them would have been way more powerful.
promises pack.
And what we did is we gave it an identity. Instead of going a book, a journal, we called it Promises Pack. People will buy just to get the promise. Ooh, a Promises Pack. What is that?
Book, a journal. I don't know if you know of Jesus Calling, but that is one of the best devotionals I've ever used. It just seems.
And the way to present this in the future, you go, let me share with you one of my favorite devotionals ever. It's called Jesus Calling. And it's one of the best things I've ever read. Remember, we want to sell it. And then they're going to be hungry for Jesus Calling. And then you go, oh, by the way, in the Promises Pack, you're going to get a copy of Jesus' Calling too. And then you go to a slide that has a picture of Jesus Calling.
Volumes to me, and I use it daily. And I found it goes along with my course very well, not because I've taken anything from it, but it just jives with it very well. Then I found this card pack that's Promises from God for Women, which is very cool.
Like, that sounds so interesting.
You
like,
need
what
a
are
Bible,
those? People will buy it just for that.
We're going to get you one, and we're going to get tabs and Bible pens and markers so you're not bleeding through your Bible. Personalized mug. Everybody's going, what are DeBrand's chocolates? I got to tell you this. This is just me. My son took me to DeBrand's for Mother's Day. DeBrand's is a family-owned chocolate company in Indiana. I think they're based in Fort Wayne. And have any of you ever had Godiva chocolates? Godivas are like awesome. I told somebody last night that Godiva chocolate is like, I worked in an office with 10 women. They gave us boxes of Godiva's chocolates, and it sounded like there was an orgy going on. Depending on where you are in the world.
So I get you're trying to sell the value of chocolate, but who wants the brands and who wants Godiva now? You're talking about Godiva. Stop. Just the brands. And part of the beauty of the brands, it's for sale near where you live, right, Mary Jo? Is that right or no? And so it's you could probably go to the brands and order off the website. But
Well, what I wanted to do was make that connection that DeBrands was better than Godiva, but I didn't make it.
well then yeah, say
Yeah.
you guys have heard of Godiva. Godiva's great. Godiva is nothing compared to the brands. And now
Yeah.
she's gonna ship them a piece of home. So you guys, little things like that, like a piece of home, it goes such a long way. And now, but a huge mistake you made next is you're gonna say, well, if we can ship, and depending on the time of year, whether it's chocolate syrup or chocolate, like now people are worried. I want you guys to get this. This is the mind of the buyer. If she goes, well, depending on the time of the year, the chocolate will melt, and so we'll have to send you syrup. Some people don't want chocolate syrup, and they'll be like, I don't want chocolate syrup. I'm not gonna buy this. I'm telling you guys, people will bail on little things like that. You've really got to make it brain dead simple for people to say yes. Plus, did it matter? You don't have to tell them if it's chocolate or syrup. We're going to send you some DeBrands chocolate. And then if it's syrup, hey, I hope you enjoy this syrup. It's the finest syrup in the world. Oh, cool. I didn't expect syrup, but that's great. Bridget said, Godiva, I'm hungry now. Let me catch up on the notes. But now I want the screen protector. Bridget wants a screen protector. Awesome. Thanks, Bridget. By the way, I'm not selling these as a bonus, but that's exactly how you would sell a bonus. I just used this thing. It fit. It was perfect. And then later on, I would do the offer and they go, by the way, remember these? I got to deal with them. I got 10 of them. If anyone wants one, the first 10 people to sign up, you get a screen protector. That's literally how you do it. All right, so let's go back. We're almost to the end.
Whether or not we can ship chocolates in warm weather,
Wait,
it'll either be chocolates or chocolate sauce because they have a jar that is fantastic stuff. Gourmet teas. There's a book out called The Boy, the Mole, the Dog, and the Horse, which sounds like, like stupid, but it's the.
I wish I could rewind 5 seconds. You're giving me this awesome bonus, and then you just told me it sounds stupid.
Well, if you went forward like 2 seconds, you'd find out that it's one of the best books I've ever read, and it makes me cry every time I open it.
Great. So how about I want to share with you one of the best books I've ever read. It makes me cry every time I open it.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not even going to tell you the name of the book. It's going to be a special surprise.
Mm.
And the way you position this stuff too, also, she talked about the coffee mug. Hey, y'all, you're going to be having some time to study and journal. And to keep you warm, I'm even going to send you my favorite tea. And to put the tea in, I'm even going to send you a personalized mug that's just your mug. So when you study, when you take this time for yourself and God, you know it's your time.
Well, I sure am glad you're doing this, Jase.
Yeah.
Get this recording up.
Yeah,
This is awesome.
I want to make sure all of you, are you seeing how
Yeah.
all of you can map this? And thank you, Mary Jo. And all of you are seeing how you can map this, right?
This little book, my mother got it for me, and it makes me tear up every time I read it.
The
It's
fact
so
you said your mother, I
inspirational.
would start with that. I wouldn't even tell the name. And I would just put like an image with like mystery or surprise. My mother got it. It makes me cry. It's wonderful. They'll buy just to find out what the book was. And then like this blanket and fused glass, like this is you have such cool bonuses. And by the way, it's worth more than $250 with the blanket and earrings in there now. You're going to get them their favorite color. It's a handmade earring. You're going to get them these blankets. I mean, it's so meaningful, but it's not done
I found this
justice.
bracelet that said, "Fate whispers to the warrior, you cannot withstand the storm." And the warrior whispers back, "I am the storm."
And as soon as you nail that, then you look at them and go, you are the storm. No longer is some building going to be put next to you. You are the power now. And to remind you that every day, you're going to get one of these bracelets for free. And then go to the next one.
Does that speak to you or what?
I like your excitement there.
We didn't talk about it during Kelly's talk, but Kelly is an artist in addition to other things. And remember that picture that's behind her as she spoke. I don't know if you noticed it. It's a distinctive piece of art. She did that. She has a charity called Blankets for Burn Kids, and she designed these blankets with her artwork. And it just speaks to me every time I see it. It looks like something you just want to curl up with and take comfort in. And so I've asked her if we can include that in the project.
So for everyone who invests today, we're going to make a donation in your name, or we're going to make a donation to Blankets for Burn Kids, and we're going to get you one of these wonderful blankets. So now they're a part of something big in the world, and they're helping these kids by buying into your program.
This pack. And also, I don't know if you noticed my earrings, but
You can't see, but you'd want to have a
you're
picture
each
of it, a nice
unique
picture.
piece of art from God. Fused glass earrings.
And you are a unique piece of art by God. You are one of a kind. And to remind you of that, we're going to send that to you. I want that energy and a little bit faster with it. Because for all of you, like, get into the cheesy. It's not cheesy. It's wonderful. I mean, and then also I'd like for you to say there, and you'll be a part of this tribe, and all the women in our tribe will have their own glass earrings. So when we meet in person, you could wear them. When you get on a call, you know what I mean? Like, give them, people love swag. They love to identify through tribe
artists.
colors and things.
And I love these earrings because they're unique. They are totally unique. So one of a kind, and then they would be in your favorite color. All of that is thrown in there free. And I did not get the last.
They don't know that. And you guys never ever do that. Never ever 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 tell them, oh, I didn't get this slide. Oh, so and so speaker couldn't make it. This is why we do not publish schedules for. Here's the schedule. We start at 9. We go till we're done. It's probably going to be late. Like those of you who want to come to Dynamic Life, it's our now 4.5 day intensive. We start at 9 the first day. We go till we're done every day. It could be 10 or 11 at night. The last day we'll finish at 1 p.m. That's the schedule. You don't tell people when someone's on, when bathroom breaks are, what topics are being covered. Because if you say I'm covering XYZ, but the spirit just moves you to move XYZ to the second session, well, now you're out of integrity. Why aren't you covering the first session? You do not do stuff like that. And when you mess up or you don't show something, you don't show them that. So here's what I would have liked to seen her last slide look like, is the recap of the entire offer. And you want to bring them out one at a time. You're being called to a beautiful, and we want to emphasize the outcome. And then the Beautiful Way group coaching. The deep dive workshop with Margie is 5,000, 1,000. Deep dive with Rose, 1,000. The Authentic Beautiful You, 2,500. 5 101, 1,500. The Promises Pack, total value 11,250. For those of you who say yes right now, and you want to click that link right now, your investment is only $19.97. To get all of this on the page, you have to go right now. It's not rude, you guys. Open another browser and go right now so you can get all of these bonuses. Now, to go back to Kat's question, if she does right here after the 5,000, she sells the value, then she gives the bonuses and gives the new value of 8,500, and then the discount, she'll get her first wave, and then she can start pushing the fast action bonuses for the first 3 people, 5 people, or the first people. If you're not going to limit it, don't give it a fake number. For everyone who says yes today, right now, you're also going to get 5 101 sessions. Go to the link right now. If you talk about the Promises Pack, go to the link right now. You need to ask 4 to 7 times. And actually that number, some people have said gone up because of the shorter attention spans out there. So I would have your goal. You want to ask 7 times for the sale. So some tie downs, and then ask here, like a real clear ask, a real clear ask, a real clear ask, a real clear ask. So you want to have at least those 4 really clear drive to the sales pages moments. Does that make sense to you guys? Are you guys getting this? Cool. How about a giant, huge, can we get jazz hands for Mary Jo for putting herself on the line for all of us? Yes. So let's do a couple of minutes of feedback and then we'll wrap up. So Mary Jo, what does it leave you with? And then we'll take a couple of shares from the audience.
Oh my gosh, Jase. I mean, this was awesome. This was awesome because this is the part that I don't know anything about. And I took a lot of, what I've learned from you. And I did come to the offer workshop on the Friday before, but I was way behind even when I hit that workshop. And so I was kind of deer in the headlights the whole time. And so to see this and have this kind of input on this, painful, I'll admit it's painful, but it was painful when I looked at it last night because I could see.
Yeah, so let's let
and
go
I
of the
thought,
pain.
yeah.
And how much better prepared are you going to be for the next?
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Loretta said you should send Loretta's tea. So for real though, for all of you, Loretta makes a tea or something, right? If you could have Loretta do a professionally shot video, Loretta, you might want to think about this if you have, if you want to pursue people including your product and their offerings. You cut a video and going, oh, hello, women at such and such event. This is Loretta. I hand make this tea. It's made for this, this, this. I'm so excited that you get to try it. And then they could show that clip during the offer. And then it's like an even, ooh, wow thing. So for all of you guys, and then we're talking about bonuses too. Like Rich is on here. He's a branding expert. If you're doing a business thing, could you get Rich to include some kind of a training or something? Just, start to look at that. David and Christine both work with Dennis, and I introduced them because I bet there's a way they could cross-pollinate, cross-promote, create bonuses for each other, or sell something together. You guys, you want to start thinking, what can I add in that adds to the emotional experience, their mental growth, their learning? What can I include that's just really cool, and start finding and sourcing those things. And then Mary Jo, you said, I've been collecting these things for a year. I get what you were saying, but when you said I've been collecting this for a year, I literally picture these things sitting on your shelves like I'm getting year-old tea. Or how about on my journeys around the world, I've been finding some of the coolest things, and I want to share them with you because, oh, this is great. Ready? I want to share them with you because you're about to go on a journey. So to accompany you on your journey, I want to include the Promises Pack. First thing we're going to do, at tough times, everyone needs chocolate. Have you heard of Godiva? Godiva stinks compared to this stuff. This stuff's called blah, blah, blah. They make it right down the road. I'm going to send you some blank chocolate. It's the best chocolate in the world. And if you have some there, hold it up. It will be even smarter earlier in the event when you're going to have break. Hey, let's all go get some chocolate. You guys, I'm enjoying chocolate from my favorite chocolate in the entire world. It's called this. It's right down the street. It puts Godiva to shame. It's the best. And then when you come back and you do your offer, they would have already seen it. Like a product placement. Nice. So let's I got some smiles on that one. Let's open up for a couple of minutes of sharing. I got an appointment at 2. So who would like to share? A couple of people like to share. Anyone? Here's where we sit in the awkward silence. Who would like to share? Just raise your digital hand, please. Loretta, I saw your real life hand.
I want to say thank you, Mary Jo, for being the brave. I'm not going to call you a guinea pig, but brave. Like seriously, this was absolutely incredible for us to be able to watch your session in live, a time, and to be able to learn, take notes. Thank you for taking the critique amazingly well from Jase. Obviously, we know we're all here to learn from his expertise. This was like priceless, absolutely priceless. Thank you.
Thank you, Loretta. Fantastic.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And I do need to talk to you about the tea.
Right here, girl.
Rich.
Thank you, Mary Jo, for making me more comfortable and asking for help. I mean, we all need help. Even if we've been doing something for a long, long time. I've had several events already. And I just private message Jase, like, I so want you to do a Mary Jo on what I'm doing. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you.
So I'll share in a minute how you can all get that done if you're willing to. So Mary Jo, you've made a difference for this community, by the way. So great. Pam, last year. Pam, awesome. Coming up, Pam, what do you got?
So it was so awesome to be there to watch you, just unfold this incredible power that you have. I was in the breakout rooms with some of the women who were potential for you, because I know you had a lot of people there supporting you, including me. And they were just so, from the get-go, they were so engaged and so caught up. Your, what's the word? your gift to women who have found themselves in the position where they're divorced from somebody that they thought they were going to spend the rest of their life with. That power that you have, that gift that you have, is so needed. It is absurd. And I'm just so present to the difference that you have to make. And it was a privilege to be there. It was. And I was sick as a dog and I was there. I mean, it was just incredible to be there. So congratulations to you, honey. You really knocked it out of the park.
Thank you. And thank you for being there, because I knew you were sick and I thought, oh, I can't believe she's staying the whole day. Bless you, my dear.
So you guys rock.
Oh,
So how about a big whoosh for everyone who just shared? Let's say we're not ready yet. Whoosh. So a couple things I want to point out. One, and then Rich asked how we could do this. So I want to share, Rich, I'm going to bring you back up because I want to share how all of you, Rich private message and said, I want you to look at my offer stack and stuff. You guys, if you'll submit it ahead of time, I will make time during the call to review your stuff. Please submit your scripts, guys. We want you to submit scripts, submit offer stacks, submit anything. But give me a couple days notice that you want it reviewed and I will make time available. Also, if you want to go deeper, and this is what I'm talking about, true fast action bonus types things. And I want to point out what Mary Jo did. Mary Jo, you guys, she has 2 clients now that each paid her $2,000. Mary Jo, what's the most expensive coaching package you've ever sold before?
I've never sold a coaching package. I only, this is
Do you guys get this?
brand new.
She has never sold to 2. And now, most important thing, she found that it made a difference and she knows she could do it.
Yeah.
What I want to point out, she hired Danella. I don't know what she paid, but she paid a good penny. And
I
she
did.
joined Black Belt to do private writing. But now that it's done, she never has to do it again. It's done the rest of her career. There's going to be tweaks, but the work is done. Does that make sense? So for you guys that are here, all of you, if you will submit scripts and videos ahead of time, I will review them on the calls. We will make time. And then as you guys, Natalie and I have been working on the program, we're sort of have testing, like in martial arts, you test, where you'll come on and you'll do your introduction. We're gonna have testing days. You'll do your presentation and you'll pass to be ranked up. Initially, you just have to submit your written presentation and you'll be ranked. Then you'll do it for Natalie or me and you'll be ranked up. Isn't that cool, you guys? You're gonna have actually testing days. I think it's cool. Having said all that, the reason I'm bringing this up, and I want you guys to know why I bring up Black Belt, because I've never really brought him up on the calls before this last month, is because I respect what you've paid and what you've invested. Here's why we're doing it. Rich, I want you to hear this also. September, I'm doing a 3-day virtual event. And in September, I'm offering Black Belt. We're going to have hopefully 50 to 60 people sign up. I'm not including one-on-ones. And I'm not including this special bonus. What we're doing right now, if any of you guys want or are interested in Black Belt at all, you get 8 one-on-one sessions with me. That's the only way you get one-on-one sessions with me. I work with you one-on-one to write your presentation, and everything you've paid for world class, you can apply towards Black Belt. I'm not offering that in September. That's like a sweet you're here bonus. Nothing besides the one-on-one session starts till October. October is our first event right here in Boise, beginning of October. We're doing a 3-day event. That event's not open to the people who join in September because I want only the people I have a relationship with at that event. Those people will start in January with a big kickoff breakthrough event. Does that make sense to you guys? So the reason I'm sharing this is some of you are interested. I'm getting message. I also want to explain why I'm offering it in an example of a true time deadline thing. It's a special that you guys have right now because we're going to offer virtually and we're not going to include one-on-ones when we offer it virtually in September. So if you're interested, if you want to talk about it, I've had a bunch of people book in already. If you're interested, just book in a 15-minute call at that link. There's no pressure. We'll talk about if Black Belt's right for you. We have payment plans and all that stuff. And if you want it reviewed for the level you're at, submit it and I'll review it during a future coaching call. Does that land for you guys? Is that cool? Is that fair? Awesome. So Rich, any questions on that? I brought you back up. Any questions? Are you good?
No, that's fantastic. When you say submit slides, you said scripts and videos. Where are we submitting that?
Email them to me and message me in like Facebook or text me that you want to have something reviewed. You guys, I'm horrible at checking email. Like I don't check it weekly even. So text me or message me that you want me to submit something, or put it in the Facebook group and tag me, and then I'll put it on the agenda. And to be clear, I'm not going to spend the whole hour usually, but maybe like 10 to 15 minutes. So like pick a section you want to work on. We can work on an offer stack in 15 minutes and make it worlds better in 15 minutes. So ideally, the way our coaching calls will start is the first call of the month I'll train, and the next 2 calls are all feedback and review calls. But if like Rich, if you're like, hey, I want something reviewed, then I'll make sure I find time on the first call of the month to review yours for all of you guys. So just start submitting stuff. That's what I'd really like to get to.
Yeah, well, and thank you. I have a half day and a full day, and they grow on each other. So the half day sells the full day, and the full day sells the 7 day. So it's 2 offer stacks, and it's all. I've already done it twice.
We're at the top of the hour. I got a meeting right now, so we got to go.
Yeah, it's tight, ready to go tighter. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Let me see by show of hands. We don't have time to get feedback from everybody what they got. Who got value out of today? I just want to check in. Who got a lot of value? Awesome, great. And then when you combine that with Bridget's slide making skills, oh my gosh. And that's who I have an appointment with now. So I'll talk to you guys later. Great work, Mary Jo. Super proud of you. Bye, everybody.